Zach, it's me. We're recording happy festive holidays and such.
Yeah, happy Festivus.
Yeah.
Uh, I guess like Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah and Kwanzaa. I don't actually know when Hanukkah is this year. I probably should. Uh, 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 oh, it starts on the 18th, goes to the 26th. Okay, because occasionally it's just like a month early. I'm very much not aware of the calendar system that it is used, the Hebrew calendar. So I probably should, but maybe someday I will learn calendars that aren't the what we use the Julian, and I also know the French Revolutionary calendar for some stupid reason. Can that be our starting tangent? Can I talk about the French Revolutionary calendar?
No.
Why can't
No.
I talk about the French Revolutionary
No.
calendar? I'd love to talk about it. It's
No,
something
it's
I love to talk about famously.
it's a fest. It's a holiday video. This is our holiday video.
What's more festive than the French Revolutionary calendar?
Zach, I have a game I want to play with you.
What's the game? First of all, you should like, comment,
Oh
subscribe.
yeah.
If you have a theory or fan art, send it in the email
No
listed
one's
below.
gonna click on
And you
this
should join
video.
our Discord. And in
No
the
one's gonna
Discord, you can ping me and ask me more about the French Revolutionary
No one's
calendar.
gonna click on this video, and if you clicked on this video, comment below correcting me.
If you clicked on this video, comment below saying, "I really wish Tom would have let Zach talk more about the French Revolutionary calendar."
Zach, I I I have a game that I wish to play with you. Okay?
All right.
All right.
Yes, I'm on board.
I have been doing something wonderful with my family this Christmas season.
Okay.
We have been watching some true dumpster level Hallmark Christmas movies.
I
They
have a plan to watch several very bad animated Christmas movies with my roommates.
oh
Uh, so
they
I,
have been oh no, I'm sorry. Do you want to you go off on your thing and then we'll come back to
no, no. So like,
the
I,
game that I'm introducing right now.
that's why, yeah. We're nothing but sidebar
You go
conversations on
ahead.
this
No, you
channel.
go ahead.
Uh, I have plans to do something very similar where I watch the worst Christmas content I possibly can.
Is that the end of the story?
Sidebar collapse.
I'm
You're good.
angry about it.
I thought you were going to vamp off of it a little bit, but much like pie theories, we're just not having that conversation.
Zach, we went an hour and 45 minutes in the last one. God, hold on, what time is gosh darn it. Uh you coriander. We're, we're gonna focus. We're gonna do this game because it's late and I want to. I've been planning this for like a month. I'm really excited. So, with my family, we have been watching some truly awful Christmas movies.
As you
Uh,
do.
uh, we have been playing some wonderful drinking games where the rules include things like forlorn look off into the middle distance. Uh, 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 that character did something that makes me want to throw up. Uh, I'm angry with this child. And it has been truly marvelous. I have watched, gosh, I want to say like seven, seven, maybe more, uh, of these terrible Hallmark Christmas movies. And I have a list of them in front of me. Um,
Okay.
and I want to describe them to you. And I've described them in my own words. And I want you to tell me whether the thing that I'm describing is a real Hallmark Christmas movie that I really did watch with my family, or something that I actually just made up.
I'm I was kind of hoping it would be uh a thing that happens in a bizarre, terrible Christmas movie, or a poorly described scene from A Song of Ice and Fire.
I,
But
I
we'll
I couldn't figure out how to make that work, so this is the game we're playing.
that's fine. Completely making it up is just as fun,
Okay.
uh, and way more chaotic.
Okay, hold on. I just have to Zach vamp for a moment. I'm just gonna make sure that I have all of my descriptors ready to go.
Okay, so the French Revolutionary calendar, as you might know, was made during the French Revolution. Some people call it the French Republican calendar, and that's what the Wikipedia article calls it. It was used by the French government for 12 years during the French Revolution, for 18 days by the Paris Commune. Do I need to keep vamping? I'll keep going.
No, we're good. We're good. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, Zach, on my list I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Please pick a number 1 to 8.
My favorite number between those would be 6, so we'll start with 6.
6. Okay. You ready, Zach? I'm going to describe this to you.
Yeah.
An extremely wealthy daughter of a hotel owner goes skiing with her boyfriend, falls off the top of a mountain, loses her memory, is rescued by a handsome, dashing single father, uh, is brought into their little bed and breakfast. This person then regains their memory and gives a whole bunch, like a ludicrous amount of money, to this little bed and breakfast that is obviously failing. This all stars Lindsay Lohan and features an original Christmas song at the end by Lindsay Lohan's sister.
Okay, hold on a second. Who does Lindsay Lohan end up with? Her boyfriend from the beginning, or the single father?
Oh, the single father all day.
Oh, God.
Oh my god!
Can't believe this Christmas movie has an NTR ending.
This is turning. Oh my goodness! Oh no! This is turning into Would I Lie to You? Oh no! You can ask me interrogative questions and see if my ability to improv is good enough to fool you.
I also made a very lewd joke in passing, and you did not comment on it, which is good, very good. Glad we didn't call attention to that.
My hand
one.
is on the button. Are we okay? Okay. All right, Zach. The movie, by the way, is called Falling for Christmas.
So Lindsay is this a recent Lindsay Lohan film?
This is a recent Lindsay Lohan. I think this might be Lindsay Lohan 2022.
Jesus. And Lindsay Lohan's sister. What's the name of the song at the end? Do you know? Or
I have no earthly clue.
Is it like a All I Want for Christmas Is You sort of ripoff?
Yes.
There's two kinds of Christmas songs.
Yes.
The kind you sing in church, and the kind that desperately wants to be All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Hey, some of them are I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas.
There's the outliers. Yes. Oh, man. One of these on here is going to be like a film adaptation of I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. That's going to happen. Whether that's real or not. Some... Um. Uh. God. I'm gonna go with This Is Real. I'm gonna go with This Is a Real film that actually exists.
Zeg, this is a real movie.
I'm gonna now go over to Lindsay Lohan's Wikipedia page, unless you're about to tell me she did like 4 Christmas movies this year.
Oh my god. Zach, it's basically Overboard but Christmas themed and starring Lindsay Lohan.
Oh god, it is a lot like Overboard, isn't it?
It is no, it's not a
Look at
lot
that.
like Overboard, Zach. It's not. She is employed as a maid at their bed and breakfast. It's not a lot like Overboard. It is Overboard.
They remade Overboard? What?
They've remade Overboard as a Christmas movie starring Lindsay Lohan.
No, they also remade Overboard.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
With Anna Faris, who I really like. Is it Anna Faris or Anna Faris? I always say Anna. I never really liked Overboard. I'm sure I don't like it all that much as a Christmas movie either. Is it controversial to say I don't like Overboard? Are people in the comments going to be, not only did Zach make a hentai joke this episode, he also doesn't like Overboard?
No, I think Overboard is pretty problematic in retrospect, actually.
It is incredibly problematic.
I don't think that's a hot take.
There's a lot I don't like about Overboard because I personally would never.
It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice.
I feel like I don't need to like pat myself on the back for looking at Overboard, being like, I wouldn't do that. That's like the bare minimum.
It is far.
It's like that's like the I've never shot and killed a stranger just because I felt like it. I should feel good about myself. That's not what happens in Overboard, by the way. I don't want people being like, yo, this is like a hardcore action movie.
It is far. The Falling for Christmas is far less problematic.
That's good. Well, okay, it's still about somebody with amnesia.
Well, yeah, it's about somebody with amnesia, but instead of like abjectly taking advantage of this person, the owner of the bed and breakfast does like actively try to help her, and they seem to develop feelings for each other, and they do not really express those feelings until she gets her memory back. Which, let's compare that to Overboard, where what's the name of the? Hold on, what is the actor? Hold on.
Goldie Hawn.
No, the other actor.
Is that Billy Bob Thornton?
No,
it's Kurt Russell.
Yeah, Kurt Russell. Whereas Kurt Russell just like gaslights this person into thinking that she is his wife and does not hesitate to sleep with her, which is not good. It's not good.
Correct.
It's not a good movie.
Don't do that. If you come to us for moral advice, in which case I don't know why, but don't sleep with somebody with amnesia. Will be up on my list of things not to do.
Yes, it's one of the many subsets of don't gaslight, right?
Yeah, yes, and many other things that I don't want to have to explain to our audience because I trust them enough.
Sidebar: Overboard isn't real, and you're crazy, Zach.
Overboard never existed.
Please pick a number 1 through 8.
I'm sorry, I have to point out I pulled up the Wikipedia article for Falling for Christmas.
Yes, it's
incredible. Critics have said things like David Rooney of THR claimed that if you're going to do an Overboard knockoff that slides into the generic sludge of sentimental holiday season rom-com, then at least find a couple of leads with the charisma and chemistry to pull it off.
I'm properly angry with this take. I had a great time.
Hold on. The lead here is Cord Overstreet. What?
Oh yeah, Cord Overstreet.
It's not a real name. This is a fake name. No one has ever been named Cord Overstreet.
We looked this person up. Cord Overstreet was very popular on Glee.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Cord Overstreet.
And he is quite handsome.
He was in Hot Shell Ray, a band that nobody remembers, who made the song Tonight Tonight, which sucks. Is very bad. Is not a good song. It's the one that goes tonight, Tonight, there's a party on the rooftop, top of the world tonight. I hate that song. Uh,
I want to note that while this whole movie was going on, while this whole thing was going on with um with the main character losing her memory, her boyfriend also had his own subplot because he was skiing with her when she fell off the fucking mountain. Uh and he got lost in the woods and had a relationship with a gentleman living in the middle of the woods.
what?
And I was genuinely upset. Like I and my family were genuinely upset with the movie that her boyfriend ended up with her concierge, whose name was like Jacques or Jean Pierre or something like that. Her boyfriend ended up with her concierge instead of ending up with Woodsman.
Yeah, let them end up. If you're gonna uh, destroy their relationship for the sake of this plot, at least let them date the more interesting character.
No,
Is consolation,
they
right?
never should. I'm actually defending this movie now. They never they never should have been together in the first place. They were not good for each other. Um Lindsay Lohan was kind of a nightmare until she got some sense of humility, and her boyfriend was gay.
Those tend to cause some issues.
Yeah.
Uh,
Zach, I like this movie and I would recommend it. I'm not going to take a stance on whether these movies are good or not. They are all bad. but
but
but I will
this
say
seems like
whether I
the
recommend them or not.
this is one you can talk over and crack jokes at.
Yes.
That I presume finds some enjoyment. Like the plot's ridiculous. I
Yes.
have to presume the beginning is very funny to make fun of. I presume it probably drags in the middle.
I found we looked it up after the fact. Apparently, this was like a passion project of Lindsay Lohan personally. Um, uh, she was one. I think she has an executive producer credit because she cared so much about this movie,
She
and
doesn't, but
the cast said that it was one of the most fun things that they'd ever done. Apparently, they had a great time.
it was produced and directed by two people with the same last name, Damien, and the one who does have a Wikipedia article is an actor who was on The Young and the Restless. What? And was the lead of a Broadway production of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Probably the best musical I've ever been in. I was also in that same Broadway production for those keeping store at home. I
I
definitely didn't do it
wore
when I was in
my
high
coat
school. I wore my coat.
with golden lining.
Oh,
Right.
oh. You. The funny thing is, I've not been in that musical since I was a junior in high school. Uh, and I bet if you were to like sing songs, I have my part still memorized in the subconscious of my brain, ready for it to come back out in case like somebody just calls on me and is like, Zach, sing your part from Benjamin Calypso. And it'll just come out super naturally.
All right.
I guess I've outed myself as a theater kid in this. This is a great episode for lore dumps about the two of us.
Yeah. On a related note, Zach, next time we're at karaoke, if you want to do Joseph and the Amazing I will. I'll do backup for you.
Hey,
I'll
that would be fun, actually.
I'll hit you.
That'd be.
I'll
It
hit
would
you with
actually.
the
I did the backup parts for all of it because I was one of Joseph's brothers. So it would probably be better if you sang the lead.
Okay. All right. I'm happy with it.
Go, Joseph.
So
No.
on Falling for Christmas, would recommend requires 2 drinks per person.
Per person. Should I be drinking during this game?
I don't know.
All right. I asked because I already am.
All right.
Also, I want before we move on, how is Cord Overstreet a real name?
I don't know, but I love it.
Like Cord Overstreet is how I describe power lines.
Zach, please pick a number. Oh God, that was
Not
funny.
gonna
God,
acknowledge
that
that
was
joke at
no.
all.
I'm
That's
sorry.
fine.
It just took me a minute, but God, that was funny.
Cord over street.
Cord over street is how we describe power lines. That's Zach. That's really funny, and I can't. I'm actually not mad. That was just a really good joke. Zach, please, for the love of all things holy, pick a number 1 through 8.
Let's go with 4.
Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Your movie is A Very Merry Christmas. Mary is spelled Marry.
Oh, jeez.
uh, the main character is like an overworked wedding planner. And
No.
and she never conceives. She's always helping other people with her happily ever after. She describes to her best friend for the first 15 minutes of the movie. uh and but she works all these weddings, she sees so many other people being happy, but one wedding at Christmas she meets a charming gentleman who is the what's it called, not a maid of honor, uh the other one.
Groomsman.
No, the other one, the big one.
Best man.
Captain Groomsman, yes, there we go.
Captain Groomsman. I am Chief Groomsman.
I've gone crazy. Chief Groomsman, who, by the way, is played by Stefan from the Vampire Diaries. Stefan from the Vampire Diaries meets this person at a wedding. They have a meet cute in the back in the like catering section. Uh, they end up making out at the wedding, getting caught by the rest of the bridal party. Then there's like this whole subplot where the marriage that's actually happening at Christmas is fucking falling apart. Uh, and they meet during the rehearsal dinner. The main character and Stefan from the Vampire Diaries. They meet during the rehearsal dinner. The wedding falls apart, and they get married at the wedding that their friends were supposed to get married at.
Wow.
And that is the happy ending at the end of the movie.
I try not to kiss people before I've known them for 72 hours, but the problem is that it sounds so stupid and unrealistic that there's no way you could have came up with it. Can I ask questions?
Oh please! Oh my God! Please ask questions. Because I've wanted to talk about every single item on this list for like a month.
The thing I'm mortified is I'm gonna learn that there's not a single fake movie on this list. It's like the reverse. It's like the reverse of when I showed you all those things from Game of Thrones that weren't actually there. Although I guess the first ones were all real things and just slowly got more unhinged.
Zach,
This.
you have won a game that I really thought about playing.
What do you mean?
You successfully got to the end of what I was planning on doing until I decided not to.
You were going to really convince me that some of these were fake and then they were all real?
Yeah, I was just gonna do 8 real movies. But I decided not to. They are not all real movies.
Oh, that's a little bit of a bummer, but uh, okay. So like how much do we get of her just like in her career before we get into the main thrust of the film? I guess would be
Uh,
like how much of a workaholic is she shown to be, stuff like that.
there's like a montage of weddings, and there's like a montage with like her voiceover of like wedding, happy family, cuts back to her like with a clipboard. Wedding, happy couple, cuts back to her like standing a little sullen outside. We get that for probably like the first 15 minutes, 20 minutes of the movie. This movie is 86 minutes, by the way. This movie is very short.
That's good. It's all I want from a shitty Christmas movie that should have never been made is for the people who have realized that most of the way through and kept it mercifully short. Uh,
Oh my god, I forgot. I forgot. Near the end scene, the she the so the person who didn't get married, they're having a fight like at the altar. Um she like the bride who isn't getting married throws the bouquet on the ground, and this person who has been getting involved with Stefan from the Vampire Diaries comes up, picks up the bouquet, and locks eyes with him across the room.
well, it's like a throw the bouquet thing.
Yes. Because she had mentioned like there was something like every time a bouquet is thrown, you never catch it. You never even go. You never. It was like you never even go for the bouquet, Janet or Janice or Jane or whatever the fuck her name was. It's
Like Stefan from the Vampire Diaries. By the way, I have never watched the Vampire Diaries, so that's meaningless to me. But
uh
it is
uh
like shaming her for not wanting to like get married or
uh.
like put in the effort, I guess.
Stefan from the Vampire Diaries is just generic, handsome 2010s man. Yes, fight me.
That's
And
fine.
no, it's her best friend who from the
Oh,
beginning
who's
of the movie.
describe her best friend to me?
Her best friend. Did you ever watch uh uh Legally Blonde?
Oh my god, you guys. Sorry, that's from the musical. Yes,
Her
I've watched Legally. Zach outs himself as a theater kid, part two.
look, turns to camera two. How are you, camera two? Zach and I know lots of stuff about lots of stuff. Some of it's weird. We like that about ourselves. Turns back to
Yeah,
camera two.
we know a lot of things about many things. Some harder to explain than others, but we can explain. But it
There,
should not surprise any of you that I was a theater kid.
uh, her best friend is best friend from Legally Blonde.
And like same actress or just like personality
It is
wise.
not the same actress, but it is like the same hair, the same build, the same like clearly the same like direction. It's the same character.
Can I copy your homework? Yeah, just make it look. Just change it up a little bit so it doesn't look like it.
All right, Zach, your time
I
is
think
up.
this is real. I think this is a real movie.
Zach, I have been riffing since I said the word Stefan from the Vampire Diaries.
This is all made up.
I've been riffing the whole time.
You had me convinced.
I've just been on like full improv. Oh my god.
Well, you held it up really well.
Oh
It's
my
like
god. I thought I was dead like 3 times there.
no, you managed. Like
Okay.
I for real.
Oh my god.
Uh, like them like stupidly taking over the wedding and it being called a very merry Christmas. Like to
Marry.
me, yeah, that to me is like oh like yeah, I get where it's going. I would like you should see if like Hallmark's willing to like take you up on that. Honestly,
Okay. All right, Zach. Please pick a number 1 to 8.
let's go with two.
Okay. You ready?
Yes.
Number 2 is called Holiday Cheer.
Holiday cheer. Is it about
Yes,
cheerleading?
you're goddamn right. It is. It is a high school romance set around Christmas time, wherein the main character gets involved with a love triangle between the captain of the football team and the captain of the soccer team, which is very funny because soccer is not like a glamorous sport, and it is all centered around the lead up to the holiday dance, uh, and it is the most like, oh god, like 2006, like angsty teenager, the most important thing in the world, the most important thing that's ever going to happen to me is the winter formal. And the main character is on the cheer squad, and the head cheerleader is dating the 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 quarterback of the football team, and the captain of the soccer team is single, and he keeps trying to hit on her. I was very intoxicated while watching this movie. uh and he's trying to hit on her, but her best friend is actually more interested in the captain of the soccer team than she is. uh and it comes to a head when, at the football game the day before the winter formal, uh the head cheerleader asks the captain of the soccer team to go to the winter formal with her, uh and he ends up going with her, and the main character ends up going with the captain of the football team, and there's this extraordinary disconnected from reality moment where they're at the winter formal. The main character is with the captain of the football team. She is reconciled with the lead cheerleader, who is now dating the captain of the soccer team, and the best friend who was interested in the captain of the soccer team has been written out of the movie.
What?
She's gone. She is not mentioned after we enter the third act.
They couldn't get the actress left or
I don't
whatever.
fucking know. There was conflict, and she's literally not mentioned.
Unpersoned.
And I had this moment as I was watching this with my family. I had this moment after where I was like, "Oh, this is Carrie from a different perspective."
Scary from a different perspective. So I was
She's
gonna say, like, off screen, some really problematic tweets got dug up. Uh,
yeah. Off screen, she's.
oh, it was quite a podcast you did there. Uh, um,
Please,
they
in the comments below, tell me what was in those censor blocks.
don't do that. uh,
Oh my god. Can we just do this all the time?
This video is going to have 500 views, but they're going to be from the 50 people who watch all of our videos watching it 10 times.
Especially me.
Especially you. Like I rewatch our Halloween one with some frequency.
It's pretty good. Our Halloween one's very might be our best video.
It might be.
Although I'm hoping this is I'm hoping this is funny at least.
I'm having a good time.
Okay.
You're so the way you just like fully went on about this one makes me believe it's real, or you got or you were prepared to bullshit this one for a lot longer. Which, but okay. First of all, I had like a ton of jokes that popped in my head throughout all of this. Uh, but by the way, cheerleading's very dangerous. Don't do it. There's like no safety standards. You will permanently damage your body. Uh, so I wanted to like make the joke. Does she end up in a hospital, like unable to move for the rest of her life? But that felt like it was in poor taste. Uh, uh, which, by the way, it is. I shouldn't make fun of anybody for being severely injured while cheerleading, but I should warn you that it can happen. We might need to cut that one. We might need to hit the button on that one.
I need to edit this one anyway. I gotta put some visuals in here somewhere. We're gonna have to figure out what can and can't stay.
That's fair. Yeah. No insult to anybody who's been severely injured in a cheerleading accident. But that's where I thought this movie was going to end immediately when you told me it was about cheerleading. Was if it was realistic, she would have a career-ending injury.
And I would really like to add to that. I would like to really express my sympathies with an emphatic.
And that one's getting cut too. That one's not staying in.
Zach, can I please keep that one? That one was inspired.
Press the button. Jeez.
Man, and here I thought that condom was gonna be the peak of the evening.
They do the human pyramid and somebody falls off the top and hits the ground with a like horrifying crunch and somebody just says is it okay to make jokes about cheerleading accidents? Let us know in the comments.
In the comments below. In the comments below, please tell us your best jokes about cheerleading accidents.
Please let us know about your own horrific cheerleading accident. Oh my god. So there's an unnecessarily complicated love triangle that can be solved by everybody just talking it out like adults, right?
Correct.
The movie will be over in 15 minutes if people could have an adult conversation about relationships. Unfortunately, this is actually a very realistic aspect of this movie.
Correct.
People say like, oh, if only everybody just talked about like, what was going on with each other. Like, that's a complaint in like a movie where like, everybody's a secret agent or whatever, and they would like obviously share information. But in like a romantic comedy, like that makes sense. People are like famously bad. Sitting.
Zach.
Yeah.
It is not a romantic comedy. It is a romance that takes itself seriously.
Oh no. There's not even like when Harry Met Sally sort of like goofiness to it or like grossed out comedy or
like there is the occasional levity. Like there are like the best friend who inexplicably disappeared was kind of funny, but it is a romance, like a romance.
Oh no. This concerns me greatly. This movie's real, isn't it?
Zach, I've been riffing from the jump.
God, I was so concerned.
I've been
I'm just gonna
referencing
say
the
real for
future.
all of them.
Oh my god.
That's good. You really got me. Because like the character disappearing was really inspired. Because it feel that's like a famous bad movie thing, right? They can't get an actor back, so they just hope nobody notices. Uh,
Yeah, they can't get an actor back, and they sure as shit can't do reshoots. So it's just gone.
yep,
Right,
can't
and
afford to do reshoots. The actor's not coming back to work today, so we're just gonna roll with it. There's a famous scene in The Room where they're playing football in tuxedos, uh, and one of the guys trips and like hits the trash can or something like that, and then like doesn't come back for the rest of the movie. So it's like a popular fan theory that he died of his injuries. Uh, and then later, like a part that's clearly supposed to be him is played by somebody else. Or I think it might be the other way around, where that scene was filmed first, or something like that. But I might also be getting this entirely wrong. Please correct me in the comments. It's been a hot minute since I watched The Room.
Zach, by the way, I have changed positions slightly. Am I still adequately audible?
You're actually better now.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Okay. All right, Zach. Pick a number 1 through 8.
We've done all the evens except for 8. Let's go with 8.
This is fun. I like this game.
Whew, jeez. I'm glad I didn't do that while standing on top of a pyramid of other humans.
Whoa, 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 whoa! You know how the internet feels about cheerleading jokes.
I don't know if like we're gonna get in trouble for making jokes about people being permanently injured via cheerleading. Uh,
Okay, Zach, you ready? Number 8 is Rodeo and Juliet.
what? What? Rodeo?
Rodeo.
Rodeo
RODEO.
and Juliet? And this is a Christmas movie.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, hit me.
A mom and her 15-year-old daughter, who by the way is played by and this is not a joke, 28-year-old actress. Uh
Jeez.
it was very distracting the whole movie. Uh
Yeah. Correct.
the mom's dad dies and they have to move from New York City back to their little rodeo town in Louisiana. And it had some like fucking name like fucking Evergreen, Louisiana or some shit. And they get back and they have to tend their father's rodeo. And I'm sorry, tend their father's like horse training yard thing. And the mom meets up with meets up with an old boyfriend who has been uh who has been watching over the farm, and the boyfriend has a handsome son named Monty, like Montague, like it's a rodeo, it's Romeo and Juliet, Zach. Okay, it's Romeo and Juliet, but rodeo and Christmas themed.
Um,
Uh
mm-hmm.
and
Continue.
this person from New York City who has never ridden a horse before. I'm sorry, no, they made it very clear she had ridden a horse in New York City. Um, she gets on her grandfather's rodeo horse, is trained in secret in spite of being forbidden from seeing this rodeo kid. In spite of like, you know what I mean. the boyfriend's the boyfriend's like the boyfriend's nephew, in spite of being trained, in spite of being forbidden from seeing him, she goes and sees him anyway. And
Why are they forbidden? What's the thing here?
because it's red, they look. The movie doesn't explain these things, and neither am I. Okay, so the mom the mom and the ex-boyfriend do not get along. They're both in their like 40s. They do not get along. And she is like, you are absolutely not allowed to spend time with that person's nephew because that person inexplicably has a claim on the deed of the property that we are inheriting. He has a claim, and there is like an inheritance dispute between the mom and the mom's ex-boyfriend because the ex-boyfriend claims that her dad wrote him into the will for half of the property. So independent of that, the daughter befriends the nephew, and in spite of not being trained in rodeo, learns to become a rodeo champion and breaks the local record in the wintertime Christmas rodeo competition, and ends up getting like signed as a horse trainer at the end. Also, the mom and the ex-boyfriend uh, reconcile kind of off screen, um, and then the ex-boyfriend proposes to her and the mom says yes, and they show up at the rodeo competition to cheer on the kid in this phenomenally poorly shot like 10-minute rodeo scene where this 30-year-old pretending to be a 15-year-old pretending to know how to ride a horse
Don't
uh
don't call people who are 28 30. As someone
pre-
who is 29, I'm not ready for it yet.
pretends to ride a horse.
uh,
Zach, I think I went over all the relevant.
yes, and if you're making it up, so I can't. But this is the dumbest shit. The question is it dumb because you made it up, or is it so dumb you could not have possibly made it up?
Now, Zach, I don't want to influence your decision, but you have said yes on every movie so far.
I have. I've not said no to a single one.
Yeah.
And if I just keep saying yes, I'll get at least half right. Rodeo and Juliet,
Rodeo and Juliet is the
which is a
actual name of
Christmas
the movie.
movie.
It is. It's labeled as a Christmas movie, in spite of the fact that it has almost nothing to do with Christmas. The main character's name is Juliet,
Describe the
perhaps.
lead. Describe the leading lady of this film.
Oh, the mom or the daughter?
The daughter.
Uh, exactly zero facial expressions the entire movie. And now you may have been confusing that for exactly one facial expression. That is not what I meant.
She's got like a real Stanley Kubrick thing going on, where like there's nothing there in the facial expression, and just cuts between her facial expression and people being horribly slaughtered at a rodeo, right?
Yes, it is. She's very Duval over the place. I don't know. That felt kind of shoehorned in. I'm sorry.
See, this one seems the fakest of them all, and it's probably real.
Zach, this movie came out in 2015,
That's what I thought.
and introduced me to the genre of film Save the Farm.
This is your first save the farm film.
I've never seen a Save the Farm before. Zach, this movie is fucking atrocious. Holy shit. It's so
This
fucking
one, yeah,
bad.
I have to go to the IMDb because there is no Wikipedia article.
Yeah, it's like it's fucking historically bad. Oh my god, it's terrible.
Nadine Crocker is the 28-year-old playing a 15-year-old, I believe.
Yeah, it's really not good.
Actress, writer, and producer.
Oh my god, I forgot that the mom is a successful novelist named Karen.
Yes. Wait, she was in Cabin Fever? What was there a Cabin Fever remake? Oh, there is. Look at that. Unless it's not a remake, and it's just another movie called Cabin Fever. Oh no, it's a remake of the 2002 one. It's probably actually I'm not gonna say. It looks like it was bad. And it's how can you screw up remaking an Eli Roth movie? You should be able to make a better version of an Eli Roth movie just by not being Eli Roth.
Zach, I found the trivia section on the IMDb page of Rodeo and Juliet, and it has exactly one entry, quote, Nadine Crocker's septum piercing is visible in multiple scenes, unquote.
That's the only trivia.
That's it. The top rated review is don't watch it. Oh man.
She looks like she's in a lot of cheap horror movies besides this. In short films. She was on an episode of Supergirl, which I wouldn't recommend watching either.
Like Zach, please ask me questions about this movie. I need it.
I'm just looking through the IMDb, IDMDM. Go ahead and make a logo for that and put it in our memes channel if you want to drive yourself insane. There's okay. Thad Turner is the announcer. Presumably he's the announcer at the rodeo.
Wait, Thad Turner is also the director.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Oh yeah, look at that. How are there 3 writers on the story? There isn't a story.
There's nothing happens. Nothing happened the whole movie.
So his name is Monty, and then her name is Juliet. Wait, oh god.
Yep.
That's the dumbest shit.
It's really not good. Zach, in a scene that really stuck out in my mind, they're like, Juliet moves into the town. A person from the town like befriends her and is like, "Hi, you want to? I'm going to into a dance, to a barn dance later." I don't know if that's a thing, but I'm willing to buy the premise most of the time. I'm like, okay, let's see what
a lot of country theme movies have people partying in a PG manner in a barn. And while I'm not going to say I've never heard of barn parties, I've never heard of PG barn parties.
Got him.
I've never heard of barn parties that didn't have like, yeehaw jungle juice.
So this 28-year-old pretending to be a 15-year-old rocks up to this party with like someone who I'm pretty sure is actually like an actor who's actually like 17. And it's really fucking weird. They rock up into this
right now. She's so totally almost 30.
They rock up into this fucking party, and there's 4 people in the party. It's a barn dance. They called it a barn dance.
And there's 4 people in a barn.
Yes, it's 4 people in a barn with a Bluetooth speaker in the corner, and for a 3-minute scene, Juliet dances with Monty, the male lead, in front of 4 people.
Like that would be that's like super underwhelming for a dance. That'd be underwhelming for a barn orgy.
A borgy? No,
yeah,
that's what Patrick Stewart does.
Yeah, a borgy. That's the group of people that Karl Marx wanted to rise up. Rise up against, I guess.
I got you. I was there with you. That's a good joke. That's a
Um,
good joke. That joke's smarter than most of the ones we've done today.
no, it's simultaneously like smart and stupid. Although I think that's like my sense of humor is like, uh, here's all these things that you would probably know if you had a decent level of education. Here's me saying the stupidest thing possible about it. Um, I also had a dark, much like your fake cheerleading movie that never happened, where I have a dark ending where she permanently damages her body at the end because cheerleading is dangerous. I do like the one where she is severely injured and also her horse has to be put down because it like tripped like just a little bit and horses can't get back up. So it ends with her crawling over to a gun and euthanizing her own horse.
Oh
That's my ending
no.
of this movie. It's a little closer to the tone of the original Romeo and Juliet. Uh, what if her horse falls on him? Uh, um, so she goes to put the horse out of its misery, thinking that he's been crushed to death, and then kills herself. And then he gets up from underneath the horse, actually fine, and then
Because
kills himself
it
also.
had just been a fake horse.
It was a fake horse. He faked his own horse.
He faked his own horsing.
Uh,
Oh my god.
yeah, if you're gonna make something that's inspired by Romeo and Juliet, remember that they fucking die.
Rodeo, oh rodeo.
Rodeo, oh rodeo. Yeah, the fact they lived to the end of this movie is the most disappointing part.
Me,
I would be on board if they died.
I was saying the same thing while watching this movie. I
Yeah,
will, I will forgive every transgression this movie has made if they both fucking die.
yeah, and that's what the title implies.
Yeah.
That's like the most famous thing about Romeo and Juliet. They fall in love and then kill themselves.
Yeah, it's it's no.
What are the names of the horses?
Oh
Do they have other
no,
names for the horses?
Zach,
What?
Zach, Romeo and Juliet is not a story of lost love. It's 13 reasons why.
I'll give Romeo and Juliet credit. It knew when it was over. They didn't be like, all right, stick around for seasons 2, 3, and 4 of Romeo and
Oh
Juliet.
my god, you guys ready for reasons 14 through 26?
uh,
Oh my god, we gotta censor this whole episode.
this is much like the episode where we pitched our own sequels and remakes and never finished editing because I was cutting too many parts out. uh, just like it can't keep that joke in there. Whew, never should have said that thing about Kurt Cobain. Uh,
I forgot about that joke. Hey, when are we gonna see that episode, by the way?
the second I'm done editing it, which
I loved
hopefully
it.
never,
It
but
was so good. That could
it
be the
was
first
quick.
episode on our second channel.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to do it is put it on a second channel.
Oh my god.
Uh,
This might be the last non Game of Thrones video on the main channel. I don't know. We'll figure it
yeah,
out.
that'd be a good thing to think about next year.
Yeah. Anyway. This movie's a disaster. Um, I cannot recommend. Uh, in fact, if someone says to you, "Let us watch this movie," that is a very good indication that you should stop talking to that person.
If somebody
The
if somebody unironically enjoys this movie,
Zach, you have to say the name.
am I accusing somebody of liking this movie?
No, no, Rodeo and Juliet.
If somebody tells you I really like Rodeo and Juliet, they may not be aware that other films exist.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the FBI often uses that as a code phrase for "I have been kidnapped."
It's because no one would say it in any other circumstances,
Yes,
but it doesn't set
exactly.
off any alarms.
Anyway, the number I'm gonna take a leaf from Archer here. The number of drinks that you need to make this movie acceptable is well more than half of your body weight.
Uh,
You have a blood alcohol count of like 0.5
0.5.
or whatever just translate that joke into something that makes sense. Zach, pick a number.
Yeah. We're out of evens. Let's go to 1.
1. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
The Flight Before Christmas.
Ay. Okay. Tell me about the flight before Christmas.
Okay, you ready? Here's the scene. Uh, uh, overworked flight attendant, right? Overworked flight attendant lives in New York City, uh, spends most of her time traveling, never has time for love. As I'm sure you can imagine, most of her time is spent like on the road or in the air or sleeping in hotels. Um, and that of course changes when they go to make a drop off, and I wrote it down here in Garland, Wisconsin. Uh,
Garland, Wisconsin.
in Garland, Wisconsin, they go to make a stop, and they get snowed in. They get snowed in fucking Garland, Wisconsin. So the main character now has to stay at the one hotel in Garland, Wisconsin, which happens to be like a 4 bedroom inn that's like 110 years old, owned and operated by the handsomest man in town, who happens to be played by Evan Peters, by the way. Uh, Evan Peters, for those of you playing at home, is Quicksilver from the X Men, and I was having such a good time because because at any point when Evan Peters was on the screen while he was playing this charming, pleasant, handsome like innkeeper, uh, I was just imagining him like putting on 80s music in his earbuds and like running around the room to do the cleaning.
And can I talk about a scene in X-Men Apocalypse? I think it's Apocalypse.
You can. I think that this is the correct time to do that.
I believe Apocalypse is the one where he saves everybody, uh, while like listening to music.
He does that
Uh,
twice.
he's it twice,
I believe
but he does that once
once,
in Days of Future
once,
Past.
once in First Class, once in Days of Future Past. I think it might be Days of Future Past and Apocalypse.
No, I think it's in Days of Future Past and Apocalypse because I think
Okay.
he's introduced in Days of Future Past.
Okay.
But I think what's the hold on? Uh, he does that. I believe "Set to Sweet Dreams Are Made of This." Is that correct?
Yeah.
He's wearing a Rush shirt, I think.
Yeah.
Well, he does that scene.
Which is a good joke.
Well, no, I think there's a better joke that they did not put in there, because they looked at the timeline and maybe it didn't work out. Hold on, or maybe they just wanted to put in a more popular song. Oh no, the timeline didn't work out because it's set in 1983. The ultimate like joke for that scene would have been if he had the Rush song from the 80s "Time Stands Still" playing in the
Oh,
background.
that is pretty funny.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody's ever made an edit of that, but that would be a good edit to make.
Well, you heard
Uh,
it, team.
did Sweet Dreams come out in '83? Sweet Dreams are made of this. Yeah, they came out in '83, so they're good. So I guess they're just going for more historically accurate in their movie where mutants fight an apocalyptic being. We got to keep it realistic. Um,
I must needs assume, by the way, that I must needs assume that
I say that knowing full well I'm the person who would complain if the song had not been released that year, and I would personally labor over my own works in which mutants fight each other in the 80s to make sure it was period accurate. Like, people
extreme.
rip into that all the time, but I am also that writer.
Okay, so Zach, we're at minute 65.
We're at minute 65. We're halfway
Just
through.
dial in with me.
Dialing in.
The Flight Before Christmas.
The fucking. Let me ask some questions about the flight before
Yeah,
Christmas.
please do. Wait,
Do they ever
wait,
mention
I didn't tell you how the movie ends.
what was that?
I said I didn't tell you how the movie ends. I gotta tell you how the movie ends. I
Oh,
have
the
to
movie.
tell you. I have to tell you about the batshit crazy ending to The Flight Before Christmas because it
Okay.
makes for a wonderful juxtaposition with the last movie.
Okay.
They all fucking die, Pompeii style.
What?
There's this underlying like danger the whole movie. He's playing a pleasant, charming innkeep around Christmas time, but the snow gets so bad that the power goes out and they all fucking freeze to death.
They all die?
They all fucking die at the end of the movie, which I think is why there's no children in the movie. Uh, because this movie managed to get like a sad PG-13 instead of a fucking R because they murdered a child. Evan Peters dies at the end of the movie. So does the main character. They are found by police like weeks later after being dug out of the snow, embracing themselves in sub-zero temperatures in the inn.
Um. What? Uh. Uh. uh, mm, I. Uh. What airline does she fly for?
Say again.
What airline does she fly for?
I do not believe that it specifies what airline she flies for, but I'm gonna go with Delta.
Garland, Wisconsin,
Garland, Wisconsin. Yes.
which is not a real place, but it is a real lake in Wisconsin. And if you wanted to say rural ass Wisconsin, you could do a lot worse than saying Lake Garland. It's pretty fucking uh out there. It's like near the upper peninsula of Michigan, more so than it is any part of Wisconsin that you would
Yeah,
notice.
of course, because it's the it is the homey place up in the in the American heartland where you remember the things at Christmas that are most important, like solitude and spotty internet connection.
And there's so many like cities in this area that like uh have names reminiscent of places that are not Wisconsin. Right on the border of the Upper Peninsula there is Niagara. Is that Niagara, Wisconsin or Michigan? It's right on the border. Uh Niagara, Wisconsin, and I also saw in Altoona, which is a place in Pennsylvania. Sorry, I'm looking at Google Maps, so I'm trying to process whether anything you said is real. I can't believe it ends like that.
Zach,
That is
I do want to note that you have said yes to every question so far.
Yes, I have. And you know what? It was accurate half the time. And I want to say that this one, you're full of shit, is not real.
That's your final answer.
Correct.
Zach, I watched this. No, I'm just kidding. This is not a real movie.
There's no way it would end with them all dying.
I really wanted to see, I really
Christmas.
wanted to see if I can get a real fucking curveball past you.
No, you made this shit up.
That's correct. Evan Peters would never go near anything. He's too fast.
It's true. Evan Peters. No, Evan Peters was in this movie, but he was so fast that nobody saw it.
Correct. He was never caught on camera.
Oh, he was a Netflix Dahmer thing that everybody hated but watched multiple times.
Zach, please pick a movie. 1 through 8.
Um,
I'm having a
uh,
great time, by the way.
eh,
I believe I have
uh,
3 more movies.
we've 3 numbers left.
Yeah.
Let's go with 5.
Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
The Night Before Christmas.
The Night Before Christmas.
Spelled
It's
K N
based on
I G H T.
like the night, like a Knight's Tale night.
Yes. Zach, a medieval knight named Cole finds a woods witch, is transported to modern day. Hang on, do I have it written down? I don't think I do. Is transported to the modern day Midwest. I'm going to go with Indiana, uh, where he finds, befriends, and falls in love with an elementary school science teacher named. I'm sorry, an elementary school science teacher played by Vanessa Hudgens. And the two of them enter into a romantic relationship while he learns the ins and outs of modern society. Then he is offered the opportunity by the Woods Witch to go back home. He goes back home, says goodbye to his brother, and then fucks off back to the 21st century in the year of our Lord 2019.
The way he goes back to say goodbye to his brother.
He goes back to like 1337 or whatever the fuck, and then says goodbye to his brother, and then goes back again. Okay, you nerds, I know it's the 14th century. Fucking come at me, you pieces of shit.
I I did not believe this for a second until you said Vanessa Hudgens or whatever. And then her being in a bad Christmas movie suddenly made me believe this more. Uh, whether that's true or not, it is more believable.
I feel like we've been lacking in the questions. Do you want to ask
When
more
does the movie
questions?
come out?
I believe this is a 2019 because it is set in 2019.
Have I read like the reason I feel like I've seen this on her Wikipedia page? Have I checked Vanessa Hudgens' Wikipedia page in the last 3 years? Suppose I can just see if I cleared my internet history since
No,
2019.
no, you're not allowed to cheat.
I'm not cheating. I'm
You're
just
not.
seeing.
You are allowed to use no resources outside of your brain.
It's true. I
You have
can't. I
to.
can't.
You have to remember your internet history.
I have to remember my internet history. I can't just go.
Ask me
Uh,
more questions, please. Please, I'm having so much fun.
who plays this night?
I don't know. Someone strapping, handsome, with a mop of hair that makes him look like he could be a member of my family, but not like my family.
Not like your brother, but like a cousin.
Correct.
Hmm.
He got this beautiful golden hair. Oh,
Um.
at one point, Cole the Knight saves Vanessa Hudgens's best friend's child from that child has gotten stuck in the middle of a frozen lake, and the knight crawls out onto the frozen lake, which is actively cracking beneath his weight to grab her, which I found surreal and insane because it's much safer for her to walk back than for you to walk out and get her.
Yeah. That is insane.
Because notably, you're a full sized person.
And like he walks on the ice. He doesn't like do the crawl thing or like demonstrate that at
He
all.
does do the crawl thing. He does do the crawl thing.
That's at least correct. Um.
He does do the Jurassic Park 2 crawl thing.
Um. Uh, This sounds fake as fuck, but I'm not ready to commit to that answer yet.
Okay. Why don't you give me one more question?
Describe this woods witch. What's she like?
Oh, this woods witch, in the 13th century is like kind of like like the traditional like forest hag. You know what I mean? But in the modern day, is like Mrs. Claus.
Interesting. What is like how is her acting? Is she like really like chewing the scenery or
uh, actually, kinda yeah. She kinda goes pretty hard. She's got like a good laugh, you know.
I no longer believe it. The witch would be phoning it the whole time. I'm gonna call it a fake.
Zach, I really did watch this movie.
You're fucking with me.
Oh, I certainly am not. This this movie was a chaos factory. It
The
was
night.
incredible.
Oh my god, there it is.
There it is.
Um, yeah, there's Vanessa Hudgens. Uh,
Okay, Zach.
hold on. I need to learn more about.
No. I need you to dial in with me. It's 1:19 a.m. in the morning. Get back in here.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Like Josh Whitehouse is.
I wonder if he's related to Senator Whitehouse.
Yeah, I was thinking Senator Sheldon Whitehouse. He was originally set to play an unspecified leading role in an unproduced Game of Thrones prequel series.
Wow.
It all comes back to us. It always comes back to Germ.
That's
Uh,
it. We can put it in the tags now.
Germ got a mention. Yeah. Uh,
Uh, Zach, this movie was phenomenal. Um, I'm glad Vanessa Hudgens is still getting work.
good for
Uh,
her.
and I find it very funny. Uh, I I would recommend this movie. This movie. Let's see. How many did I say for Falling for Christmas? I think I said this requires 2 beverages. This requires a solid 3 beverages.
This is the one you watch after. Uh, um,
Zach,
I
do we have 2 more?
think so.
We do. We have 2 more. A or B.
We have 3 and 7, right? Give me
Yep.
three.
3. Okay. You ready for this?
Yes.
Mistletoe and holly, but missile is spelled Missile.
Okay.
Holly is like a level 1 cadet in the army, and she is transferred to a nuclear silo. And it's set. I think it's set in like the 70s. It's a recent movie, but it's set in like the 70s, and a budding romance occurs between her and her sergeant 2 levels or 3 level whatever the fuck, a few levels up, Sergeant Hart. Uh, and there's this deeply problematic relationship that develops between the 2 of them, between a person and her like superior offer. It is all set around Christmas time, all set within a nuclear silo, and it has all of this like procedure around it that is very like real. I looked it up after the fact, and it was co-produced by the U.S. Army. Uh, so I think that this was supposed to function as a recruitment tool for like young women into the army, uh, which is both gross and hilarious. It ends with the cadet. proposing to the sergeant on Christmas Day.
Cadet?
The cadet. Yes, the cadet proposes to the
Still
sergeant. Or
fucking
whatever.
training.
There it is.
Uh,
That's all you're getting. I'm getting us to the end.
Are there any real ones even left?
I can't tell
Mathematically?
you that.
You can. You just won't. Anyways, I'm hoping, dear God, that this one is fake.
Is that your final answer?
No, I'm gonna ask some questions first.
Okay.
Who plays the lead?
I know none of the actors in the movie.
What does the inside of the nuclear silo look like? Is it like a real fucking? Does it look like the army actually let them film there, or does it look like an asylum, like cheap set?
I mean, it looks like it was filmed on location. Not that I have all that much information about what the inside of a silo looks like, but like,
You would believe that it was actually filmed in a nuclear silo
yeah,
in an
I would
actual.
believe that it was filmed on location. And it was set in the '70s, so it had all of this like analog technology. You know, you remember the way that the bunker looked in Terminator 3?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
Then
it kind of reminded me of that.
I'm calling it. This is fake.
Yeah, it's fake as shit. I just thought of that pun for a name, and I wanted it.
That's fair. That's a good pun.
Zach, I have one more.
All right,
I
hit
have
me up.
one more. We're
One
gonna
more.
finish
Would
line.
mathematically must be real or must be fake? Fuck, I don't know.
Zach, at no point did I say it was split evenly.
Oh, you're right.
You have been operating under that assumption.
That's true.
Okay, you ready? Zach, the princess switch. A
I think this is
baker.
real title before.
Say again.
I've heard of this title before.
Okay, you ready? Here we go. Come with me. A baker,
Yeah.
played by Vanessa Hudgens, runs into a princess who is set to, I'm sorry, a duchess who is set to marry a duke, played by Vanessa Hudgens. Not the duke, the duchess. I'm
Makes
sorry,
sense.
set to marry a prince. And they switch places for a couple of days. And Vanessa Hudgens, the baker, learns that she is actually in love over the course of 36 hours, by the way, learns that she is in love with the prince. And the Duchess, played by Vanessa Hudgens, learns that she is in love with the baker's best friend and sous chef. And they independently enter into relationships with the other person's either best friend or fucking fiance without the other knowing. And they end up making out with these people in each other's lives, in spite of the fact that they are perfect strangers at the beginning of the movie, except that they both look like Vanessa Hudgens. So then they switch back, and Vanessa Hudgens, who is supposed to go to a baking competition, goes to the baking competition, and the queen, who is supposed to go and judge the baking competition, says to her son, the prince, and Vanessa Hudgens, the duchess, who actually don't like each other, says, "You guys go and judge the baking competition without me. I just don't want to go." Because she's like figured out what's going on. So Vanessa Hudgens, the Duchess, and the Prince go to the baking competition, uh, and Vanessa Hudgens runs into Vanessa Hudgens. The hot best friend learns that he wasn't actually making out with Vanessa Hudgens, but Vanessa Hudgens. And the prince learns that he wasn't actually making out with Vanessa Hudgens, but instead Vanessa Hudgens. So they switch and get married.
I think this is real.
Zach would recommend.
This is real?
Yeah.
I think I have heard of this before. In the same way that like when I like my reason for thinking of that was the Knights thing when I went back and forth on it was like I feel like I've heard about Vanessa Hudgens being in a surprising amount of like fantasy romance things that are cheaply made. So the second you said Vanessa Hudgens is, I'm like, oh yeah, that's got to be real.
Zach, I bring this movie up. I picked this one for a very particular reason. My smallest sibling and I, we looked into the canon. Right, we looked into the lore behind the Princess Switch. And it turns out that the Princess Switch and The Night Before Christmas, spelled with a K, uh, are canonically in the same universe.
Well, it was the first installment in the Princess Switch trilogy, followed by the Princess Switch Switched Again, and
Zach,
the
stop.
Switch
Zach, I'm
Romance
trying to.
Star.
Zach, we skipped over the crazy part.
There's a cinematic universe here.
No, The Night Before Christmas also stars Vanessa Hudgens,
Yes.
which means that there is not less than three Vanessa Hudgenses in this universe.
There's two in the Princess Switch, yes.
And
And
they
another one. But did you play different characters in So wait, switched again? Do they switch back?
in Switched Again, they switch.
Actually got it right the first time.
In Switched Again, they switch back. Because the Duchess, who is in a relationship with the best friend, needs Vanessa Hudgens, the baker, to come back and fix the relationship.
Vanessa Hudgens also plays the antagonist in the
And,
second one.
and we learned that the that Vanessa Hudgens, the Duchess, has a cousin also played by Vanessa Hudgens, who is an evil cousin in the movie. Which means that in this universe, there are four Vanessa Hudgenses.
Hold on, I'm about to click on the third movie to see if we can get a fifth.
I was unable to find another. I was unable to confirm more Vanessa Hudgenses.
So the villainous evil cousin returns for the other one. Uh,
So Zach, like when there's two, it's a coincidence. When there's four, it's a trend, which elevates it from fantasy to I'm going with sci-fi. What's going on with all these Vanessa Hudgenses, Zach? Is it a clone thing? What do we think? What do we think
clones?
here?
Is Vanessa Hudgens wish there were more Vanessa Hudgens out there? I wonder.
Oh my God! Is there like is it like the Christmas clone? Oh, the Christmas wish, right? Where a person wishes for more Vanessa Hudgenses and they just populate the world. Zach, some of the Vanessa Hudgenses have infiltrated British royalty. They're getting into the command structure. They're in at the highest level.
Well, Vanessa Hudgens is like an accomplished stage actress now. I mean, I guess she was when she was young, also, but she's like made a return to it. Uh, she was in a production in the Heights a couple of years back at the Kennedy Center. What if Vanessa Hudgens just has like a ton of clones of herself? And oh no, I'm just reusing the Trudeau joke from Bobby B. The babies of Bobby B. She's a bad performance. They kill that clone and put a new one out. But that's literally the Trudeau joke I made.
Oh my God! Yes, yes.
To
Vanessa
be fair,
Wayoon.
it's a good premise for a joke. I think there's a movie that has a not dissimilar premise.
Isn't that the plot of the Venture Brothers?
Um, it might be. That's definitely a part of it. There's a movie. Hold on.
Zach, much though I want to find out
Multi-
what the end of this joke is, I must bid you good night and a
what?
wonderful
Oh, no.
holiday.
Good. Happy Christmas holidays.
Mahalo.
Um.
Zach,
The,
I hope you have enjoyed this insane roller coaster we have gone on.
Yes, that is definitely what we did. Is went on a roller coaster, and boy, oh boy, was I not.
I was particularly fond of Rodeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet, a real movie.
Zach would recommend The Princess, which I'm gonna say 3 drinks minimum for sure.
3 drinks minimum. Okay.
Zach, I hope you have a wonderful evening and a wonderful holiday.
And thank you. And same to
Merry
everybody. You and we got everybody in our audience as well. Uh,
Merry Christmas or whatever dumb shit.
yes. Goodbye, everybody.